I could start off maybe by like, what was our main purpose of doing the study circle was to improve the quality of the study circle.
Wait, we're conveying like how to elements, how to improve a study circle, elements of a study circle.
And in it we'll discuss like, we'll show parts of the book, obviously.
Of
like
course.
if we're showing the charades, for example.
Yeah. It'd be good if we did it like in a way where it was like productive, like some of the elements that we're bringing in, how we're memorizing, how we're doing the art, how we're doing home visits. Obviously we wouldn't show them like our full 2 hour session.
You get a school and 20 faculty.
You'll get an extreme surprise home visit.
Yes!
One of the main concepts in book 6 we talked about was being and doing, and we said that these are two aspects of our life which we can't separate from one another. For example, on the one hand, we're always trying to acquire these divine qualities and to purify our hearts, and at the same time we are actively engaged in the field of service and in the teaching activities. And in this context we also read a paragraph from the 28th Assembly message of the Universal House of Justice about rectitude of conduct and talked about the implications for our life here at the Baha'i World Center. In Unit 2 we talked about making teaching the dominating passion of our life and thought about how we can apply this here in our situation at the Baha'i World Center, where obviously everyone around us is already Baha'i. So we thought, how can we have these distinct and meaningful conversations with our co-workers? Do we really make this effort? Do we really try to explore reality together, or are we only concerned with the things of day-to-day life?
One of the areas that we've been focusing on in our study circle is really the idea of home visits. Since we can't teach the cause here, we really have been trying to build community through home visits, through meeting some of the people who we are not that familiar with. So I was lucky enough to have a home visit with someone, and we went over the story of Abdul Baha and his teaching experiences at the end of Unit 2, the last section of Unit 2. And we talked a lot about humility and the importance of humility, and how humility really attracts the listener, and how when you're humble you can allow the Spirit of God to flow through you. And we talked about its importance in teaching and also the way that it can work here in our interactions with other people. And through the experience of home visits I've really come to learn the importance in preparation, but at the same time allowing the person who you're home visiting to really share and to engage in the conversation, and to allow the conversation to flow as the person needs. So to not rigidly go through the topics that you thought you'd go through, but really to allow an organic conversation to form between two souls.
I had a very similar experience. The other week I was thinking about who I want to home visit, because we try to make this something regular in our study circle. So every second week we call up people that we want to get to know, maybe someone in our neighborhood or someone who we don't know but we want to establish the bonds of friendship with. So I called someone in my neighborhood and I was like, oh, would you like to come over for a home visit? So instead of me going over to her place, she came over to my place, and in the beginning I was thinking, oh, how am I going to present these concepts? I was really nervous. I didn't want it to be rigid, as you were saying, and I realized that saying prayers beforehand and really giving up, forgetting, being humble and not thinking so much about how I'm going to read those concepts really helped. But at the same time, like thinking, okay, so let's just let this conversation flow. We talked about other things. We talked about our career, where we're at in terms of our life at the BWC. But naturally, because it was always on my mind, the concepts that I wanted to share naturally came up in the conversation. So I really learned a lot from that experience. That we don't need to be so worried about where the conversation is heading, but rather think about home visits as a whole. Like, what is the purpose of a home visit? So.
Not only do we study, we do arts in our Book 6. Each week, a participant is responsible for creating an art activity for us all. We've done such things as charades, Pictionary, singing songs, a crossword. Usually it's to help us with our memorizations and grasp key concepts. We even have somebody who's promised us an interpretive dance. Today, we're learning how to create better teachers.
So the next part is that we go to our books and we find out all the quotes that relate to body parts of the human body. And we try to fill it into wherever we think it is, correct? And then after...
The flowers of the Lord have ordained the sovereign remedy, and the mightiest instrument for the healing of the world is the union of all with one universal cause, one common faith, one universal cause, one common faith.
So this is our drawing. So we just took some of the quotes and filled in the body parts. So here's a quote that says, "Though single-handed and no matter how great the apathy of people around you may be, you should have faith that the hosts of the kingdom are on your side." And then this quote represents the whole human body. It says, "Every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God is endowed with such potency as can instill new life into every human frame, if ye be of them that comprehend this truth." And then this one says, "Bearing the words which the finger of holiness hath traced."
By having the participants take responsibility for this, it also means that we take responsibility for our own learning. It creates a great group dynamic for us all, an environment which we all really enjoy.
It's like when you're on the field, like sometimes you knock on a door and someone will open. "Oh, Sandra, how are you?" No one picks up my phone calls. No one ever picks up my phone calls.
looks so good on the screen.
She's just sitting there eating. I've literally called 3 people
It'd be
now.
funny if Noosh
No
was
one's
just
picked up
eating
my
it.
phone call. The behind world center does not love me.
Into her mouth.
So that one, dude.
Okay.
I wanted to do a home visit with you, but you've been rejected.
Page 12.
I got somebody better, newer, faster, stronger. They jump higher. Yeah, sorry about that.
And the last one.
Maybe next time.
That we may pass them from mouth to mouth.
Alright, peace.
No, that's good though. We should just record our session and then do that.
We should just record our session.